Hello, hello, hello. Real Money Coach, the Real Money Coach family. Hi, how are you doing? It is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know. We got to come up with a name for Tuesday. I don't know if it's Terrific Tuesday or something, but we're just glad to be here. We're glad that you are watching wherever you're watching from, all over this great nation or the world. We don't know where you're watching from. So that's why we need you to put in the chat box where you are watching from, what city. Give us your name, give us your city. Tell us what you're hoping to get out of the show tonight, because we have a great show in store for you. You want to be a part of this. Matter of fact, I want you to pause right now, call somebody, text somebody, share this if you're on Facebook, share it, whatever you're doing. Share it with somebody because they want to know what's going on tonight, because we have Janice Leak that will be with us. She is known, I'm just going to tell y'all this, she's known as the Rainmaker, right? So if y'all want to know how to make it rain, I mean, I ain't talking about water, I'm talking dollars, right? We're talking about money in sense. We're talking about the money that you fold. Well, I guess now it's the crypto money, it's the metal money, it's the real stuff. Listen, I'm glad to see Bonita Harris. Dr. Bonita Harris is here from Charlotte, North Carolina, and the queen herself, Miss Ruth Bell, is watching. Now, I know a lot of y'all be watching because y'all be telling me about the show. Y'all be texting me about the show, but you don't never put in the chat box. You don't never say anything in the chat box. You never tell us where you are. So tonight, let 2022 be the year that you engage in the chat. Thank you. Mr. Young say, hey, y'all. All right, glad. Just whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on one of the Facebook pages, wherever you are, let us know where you are watching from. Tell us your name. We want everybody to know. I don't know how many people watch the show until I go back and look at the replay, and it tells me all the different replays. But we are excited about the Real Money Coach. We're excited about the information that we bring you. And again, let me remind you that the information that we're talking about, REAL, stands for relevant, educational, actionable, and life-changing. And that's what we want to bring. We want to bring relevant, educational, actionable, and life-changing information. And I know for a fact that we're going to do that for you today. A couple big announcements. I do want to let you know that it is locked in. The book launch, iPad Your Money, Increase, Protect, and Dominate Your Money. That book launch is set for 2/22/22. Listen, if you go to ipadyourmoney.com, you will see a registration there. Register for the book launch. We're going to have an outstanding book launch. Listen, I'm not going to announce today who all our guest speakers are, but let me tell you this. You want to be in the house. You want to be in the house for the guest speakers as they drop by and say hello at the virtual book launch. Now, Alice Martin, thank you for being here. Had a great conversation with you today. Ray C. from Southern California, thank you for being here. Wow, it's going to be an awesome show, and I can't wait to get started. So why don't we do this? Why don't we bring my co-host, my friend from back in the day, and my wife's college roommate. We go back like two flats on a Cadillac. Michelle Mitchell, how you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing good, Tony. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a little silly tonight. I'm just
I know.
But listen, it's been a great day. Michelle, listen, we got snow in Charlotte.
I know, and we don't. Well,
Y'all don't have no snow?
We do from last snowstorm. It's still here, but no new snow.
Yeah.
Snow in
Chad,
Charlotte.
thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so we got snow. School's been canceled. We got 2 inches of snow. They shut the whole city down. State of emergency. And I'm like, that's we used to that. I heard this guy that I know works for New York Life, Lakeith, and he posted on Facebook. He said to all the Charlottelians out here, all the folks in Charlotte, that there's two things that don't work on ice: new tires and brakes. So,
Right.
I thought that was good.
Right.
I thought that was good. So Michelle, what's going on? What's new?
Man, I don't know. Did I tell you about this program I'm doing? And it's been really good, but it's been a lot. The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program.
Yes.
So
tell me about it. Tell me about what's going on so far.
So far, it like they let you in for free, but you got to work. Like you got assignments due every day. I'm like, how am I do this and run my business?
But you got Golden Sachs. You're gonna go to Sachs.
I know.
Certification.
I know.
So if anybody's out there looking for a business consultant, Michelle Mitchell Consulting is your girl.
That's right.
The girl, we can get it done.
And when we done, I'll have that Goldman Sachs stamp on it. So
have a Goldman Sachs stamp on it. Listen, can I get a loan? Can I get a little bread? Can I get a little bread? Can I get a little Goldman Sachs money? Right?
I can drop you some knowledge.
Drop some knowledge.
Make your own.
Knowledge is can lead to money, right?
Absolutely.
Power. I was thinking about this the other day. You always say passion to profit.
Right.
And I was thinking about there's some other P's that could go with that, like planning.
Yes.
And some of those type of things, turning your passion into profit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about 2022.
Yeah, I'm excited about 2022. Yeah, you got to have a plan first if you want to
have a plan.
Yeah.
If there's no plan, right? My people lack.
Yep.
Because of lack of knowledge, right?
Lack of knowledge.
Right division, make it plain.
Yeah.
All those type of things where we have a plan. If you don't have a plan, what's that old cliche? No one plans to fail, but they fail to plan.
They fail to plan. Exactly.
Yeah. So we got Mr. Green here from Ohio. Says shout out to Goldman. Great program.
Yeah. It's not easy getting in that program either. Just so
I'm wondering if Mr. Green been in the program.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Green just know about it. He just giving you a shout out. So let us know, Mr. Green, what's going on. So, and I think he was just on we had a phenomenal, I guess it was last week now already. Last Thursday, we had a program, Wealthy or Broke, How Will You Retire, that we did with the Black Couples Getaway group. And so it was a great discussion. We had our PowerPoint, we had those things that we would do if we needed to, but the discussion was so rich. I think we had 385 people register for that particular thing. And look, he said that his executive coach just graduated. Look at that.
Yeah. So when I get done, I can be executive, right?
You can be executive coach, right? So that's pretty awesome. Thank you for letting us know, Mr. Green.
Yeah.
So Michelle, during this month of January, let's kind of recap a little bit.
Yeah.
So the first week we had Dr. Inga Johnson on that was talking about business funding, how we can get funding for our businesses. And I think that's a great program. You've been experiencing some of that. And so that's how we started the year out, right?
Yep.
Because you got to have capital. But you got to have a plan for that capital, right? That capital can't go buying that Cadillac I talked about earlier, right? That capital can't go to buying the BMW or the Tesla or whatever your flavor is. It's got to be used to advance your business. That's the important thing. So that's how we started the month off. And then last week we had Pastor Casey Kimbrough. Shout out to Pastor K, came in and he talked about his experience in the crypto space. Gave us a little knowledge about it, and I learned some things.
Yes, me too. I did.
So now we're raising the bar tonight because tonight we have Janice Leak, who's known as the Rainmaker,
The
right?
Rainmaker.
I don't know. I just like, how do you get a name like the Rainmaker?
How did she get the name the Rainmaker?
We got to find out. We're
What
going to
did
find
she
out tonight.
do?
What did you do to get the name the Rainmaker, right? I can make it rain, right? So we have the Rainmaker on tonight. So we're looking forward to her sharing her experiences with us. Then next week, we got Stephen Hutchinson, who's going to come and he's going to talk about the tax implications of all this money. And even as I've been talking to people over the last week, they said, well, what about the taxes? You know, I'm already paying too much in taxes.
Yeah.
So we want to let you know how do you have to report the taxes, the gains, all those types of things. And so that's going to round out our month. And then we'll start Black History Month in February.
Yeah.
So if you
and
guys
your birthday month.
It is my birthday month.
Yeah.
Right? So since it's my birthday month, can I start celebrating on the 1st?
Yep.
All the way to the
all the way to the
No, I'm gonna go all the way to the 29th.
29th. Yes.
All right. And since it ain't no 29 days this year, I'm gonna keep on going, right?
Let's keep on going.
Yeah, but we are looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the book launch. For those of you, let y'all know that Michelle and Marlon will be the MCs for the virtual book launch. And next week we will start to announce who some of the speakers will be for the book launch as they are confirming. But it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be clowning. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be signing some books for y'all. So if you have pre-ordered the book, I sent this email out to Michelle to what I'm calling the first 50, right?
Okay.
So these are the first 50 people who actually purchased the book. So and I just
like last summer, right?
Started last April. Really, they did. Last April. Okay, so we started pre-selling the book when I started writing it. So and
they
so
always say sell it before it's done.
That's what they. And I heard people say sell it then build it, right?
Yeah, sell it then build it.
But you know that don't work for airplanes. You can't build an airplane while it's in the air. Christopher told me that. So anyway, the first 50 that supported the book, we're going to do some special things for that first 50. The book is available now. You can still order it. It's going to print. It is going to be available on Amazon, but we're going to have it cheaper on our website.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can go to Amazon and pay extra for it if you want, or you can go to iPad Your Money and get it at a discount price.
You got free 2-day shipping?
Huh? You got to pay for those shipping if you buy it on the website. On our website.
Okay.
See, you don't pay. We got you.
All right.
So it's free shipping.
Okay.
It's like 20% off plus free shipping.
Ooh.
On the website.
Now go get the book.
Go get the book. iPad Your Money.
Yeah.
You might be in the book. You don't even know.
Right. Am I in the book?
Huh?
Am I in the book? I didn't read the
manuscript. But you will recognize some of the stories in the book. You are
okay.
You will recognize some of the stories in the book. So listen, we're just chatting. Let's bring the Rainmaker on so we can get this education started tonight. Let me tell you about the Rainmaker. Her name is Janice Lee. And all I'm going to tell you is this, that she got into this crypto space, foreign exchange space at the beginning of COVID. Okay. So that's like April, 2020. Right. That's like April 2020. Since April 2020, Michelle, check this out. She's made almost $500,000. And you want to know why they call it a Rainmaker.
Right.
All right. Let's bring on Miss Janice Leak, and she can break this thing down for us because I'm ready to learn.
Welcome, Janice.
There she is.
Hello. Good evening and good afternoon. I'm on the West Coast, so it's afternoon here, but it is a joy to be here with you all this evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we are glad that you are here. I didn't talk about this, but we've been hanging out every Thursday for how long now?
A year now. It's been a year.
It's been a year.
Every Thursday night for the Generational Wealth Alliance call that we have each and every Thursday night. It's a Zoom call at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. So the Generational Wealth Alliance is, did I say right? Alliance. I always want to say alliance but it's alliance, right?
Yes.
And so people can even go to the website and come and be a part of that. And tell us a little bit about the format on that. Each week, I know we've had some young people, but tell us a little bit about the Generational Wealth Alliance, which you are the chairwoman,
Yes.
chairperson. Is it co-chair with George, or how does that work?
I'm the founder and co-chair with George. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And what's exciting is that this came from our experience with cryptocurrency. And we are just decided we need to make it a platform where people can learn, earn so that they can return for future generations. And I said, listen, we need to have a weekly show. And George says, well, if we're going to have an educational platform, I've got just the guy to provide some serious financial knowledge and also implement some of the learnings from and teachings from the WINS project. So, and that was how I was introduced to the real money coach, Tony Jackson, and what a blessing that has been. We start off with a little bit of spiritual inspiration. Then Tony does a segment offering us financial information with his pearls of wisdom each and every week. We did at one point have different platforms that were shared so that people could earn money. But this year, this new year, and then of course we ended each and every call with Dr. George C. Fraser, who drops the mic each and every week with his pearls of wisdom. And so, but this year we decided to do a little something different. Starting January, the 6th of January, I had a board meeting, I believe on the 2nd, and I said, listen, the Spirit has led me, and since we are ultimately doing this for our children and our grandchildren, I keep hearing in my voice, and a child shall lead them, and a child shall lead them. And I said, we're going to have a segment, a spotlight segment for the youth, where our youth can actually do a presentation on the Generational Wealth Alliance call, where they are talking about the crypto space, any knowledge that they've learned about growing money in their own right. So we have adopted the Youth Spotlight Program of the Week. And my daughter Ariana was the inaugural guest speaker, and she brought the house down. I gotta say, I was so pleased with her performance. She put together her own PowerPoint. She's only 9 years old, but she put together her own PowerPoint, and she did a topic of Binance, which is a cryptocurrency, actually the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. And she did her own research and she put it together, and I could not have been more proud of her. But this is something that we are doing each and every week. We give acknowledgement to these young people in the form of a plaque, and now I'm asking for their little Bitcoin wallet so I can drop a few Satoshis into their Bitcoin wallet so that they can understand that when you do good work, you get rewards. So that's what we're doing with the Generational Wealth Alliance.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome. And, our show was actually on Thursday night. So when George asked me, I said I could come in, but I'd have to leave early, to prepare for our show. So now my show's on Tuesday, this show here. And so now I can stay and get some of those knowledge. And I'll tell you, the young people have done excellent. And I'm not going to say, I'm not stealing it, but I'm going to borrow that youth thing. We're going to have a whole month. We're going to have a whole month where we just have youth come in and be our guests tonight, and just talk about what they're doing in terms of highlighting the positive. Because so often we see the negative, or we hear the negative, you know, they're lazy and da 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 da. And we know that that's not all of our youth, or even most of them. And so I thought when you did that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna borrow that one. I'm gonna borrow that one for sure. So awesome. So we want to know, where did the name Rainmaker come from?
Yes.
How did you get that nickname, Jeff?
Well, when I look back on it, I've had a business bank account with that name for about 20 years now.
Oh,
So this isn't something new. And I came up with it because I've always put myself in a position to be the woman behind the man, to push him forward. And after a while, I said, wait a minute, Janice, this isn't the 1800s. You deserve to put yourself forward a little bit. That was some antiquated thinking on my part. And I've got to say, and if the truth be told, there are a good number of men that I've worked with in the business arena that have made a fortune based on some of the ideas that I put into them, and some of the projects that I said, this is something that we really should move forward on. And a lot of money has been made because of it. And it hasn't been until April of 2020 when I got introduced to a cryptocurrency platform. And this is 3 years post my retirement. I was retired, sitting at home writing my memoirs and trying to avoid the cryptocurrency virus, that a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine that I've known for more than 20 years, Dr. Chiquita Powell, she reached out to me, said, Janice, there's a platform. It's a crypto platform, and it costs $10 to get involved. And I got involved 3 weeks ago, and I've made $791. And I was like, okay, that's within my budget. So yeah, I'll roll with that. And I got involved. I reached out to Dr. Fraser and decided to see, hey, George, how is this pandemic affecting you? He said, Janice, this has been brutal. I said, well, I think I have something for you. And I introduced him to the platform. He got involved, and I got busy. I got very busy, just putting myself a complete submersion into the topic, and just build from there. And I can honestly say that every move that I have made to go into those numbers that Tony talked about at the beginning of the show came out of that one $10 bill that I put into that Ethereum platform. The profits that I made from that rolled into a Tron platform, rolled into a Bitcoin platform, rolled into a foreign exchange platform, and now into the platform that I am truly just enthralled with. And that is the platform where we're not just paid on cryptocurrency, it's deeper than that. It is the entire ecosystem of the blockchain. And this platform I got involved with a year ago, and I took $300 worth of Tron, again from out of that same $10, and put it into this platform, bought a membership package, and every day they pay 0.5% a day. And so December 31st last year, I bought another package for 500 HU, which is a hyper unit, the equivalent of 500 US dollars. And again, was getting my 0.5% daily. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go to my A team, which is my daughter and a couple of friends of mine who also knew me, and Dr. Fraser. He got involved, but he was poking it with a stick because his focus was elsewhere, and that's okay. But I can say that between then and now, I am earning daily over $1,300 a day. And that is incredible returns on less than $1,000 in 1 year and 1 month. And every day I get a raise. Every single day I get a raise. So this is an opportunity like none other. Again, the people that have put this thing forward for us are known as cryptocurrency whales. And this is just something that I have done my due diligence, and that's something that I do. I do my due diligence so that I will not lead anybody else down the garden path, and without letting them know. And I've had to make a couple of U-turns where I thought it was a decent opportunity, but soon as I saw the signs that it's going left, I said, hey, it's nothing wrong with a strong pivot. And I pivoted everybody over to the platform that I'm talking about now. And there has not been one person who has lost a dime in the 2 years and 1 month that this platform has been in existence. And in fact, everyone who purchases a membership earns 0.5% a day in order to triple the value of their membership. And it is just sick. I really feel like the town crier at this point. Come on, my people, get some of this free money, because that's what we're talking about.
You know, John,
and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I want to ask you this. I want to ask you, how did you mentioned that you just emerged and learned? How did you do that? How did you learn? What way did you kind of bring yourself up to speed with this whole space?
I just started reading everything I could get my hands on about crypto. I already knew about Bitcoin. I actually 3 years prior to 2020 and 2017, I got a little pace. I followed some friends of mine into a Bitcoin project and immediately lost $2,000. But that's okay. That's the cost of doing business. Anytime you see an opportunity, as Dr. Fraser says, if it's an opportunity, there are some risks, and no risk, no reward. So I lost that money, but it was okay because I learned something from it, and my antennas were already up because I knew fortunes were being made in the crypto space. That one opportunity was not going to dampen my knowledge that there is gold and in these here hills called the crypto space. So when I got involved with the Ethereum project, I just started reading everything. I started signing up for cryptocurrency blogs and magazines, and just doing my due diligence.
That's awesome. And you know, one of the things that I have a lot of respect for, because a lot of times when people get to retirement, and I think if I remember correctly, you worked in government for a number of years.
Yeah, I was a government contractor. My husband and I were government contractors. We made stupid money doing that. And then I went into research and development. I did spend some time as a private consultant working for NASA in research and development. And I've been a busy lady. I have done a good number of things. But my last turn was I worked as a consultant for an energy company called Constellation and was doing very well with them. In fact, I was doing too well, and I noticed that they started terminating all the people that were making the money I was making. They were bringing out a bunch of younger people and paying them peanuts. So I said, I ain't never been fired from nothing in my life, so I can collect my Social Security. And so I dropped the mic. I said, no, I ain't going out like that.
But you know, my point is that you could have just enjoyed retirement and just kind of, but it sounds like that's just not in your nature, and you kind of indulge yourself in it, learned about this. So you mentioned something. You mentioned the word blockchain.
Yes.
And when people hear blockchain, I think many times we don't know what that is. Tell us how you would define blockchain.
I'll be happy to. It's like the monorail that's riding on top of the internet. It's a separate vehicle in which smart contracts can ride, other blockchain entities, for example, for example, Ethereum. Ethereum is, it's called ERC20 in some cases, but Ethereum is a network that rides on the internet, but it's part of the blockchain. And so same thing with Tron. Tron also is another system that rides on the internet that's part of the blockchain. And so those people that understand this technology, and I'm certainly not immersed into the point where I can tell you exactly how it works. But what I can tell you is that it is the wave of the future within the next 5 to 10 years. Anytime Forbes magazine says that within the next 5 to 10 years, there will be no such thing as fiat currency globally. It will all be cryptocurrency, which rides on the blockchain.
So this is just it's a technology, internet.
Yes, it literally is like the vehicle that goes at lightning speed that rides on the internet. And so that allows and facilitates trust and transparency. That's the thing that is most appealing to most people that are looking at this. I mean, we have gone through centuries where those that had the power want to keep the power. And they want to do so by keeping the little man down. And therefore, it's the top 2% of the people that own the majority of the wealth that want to keep things as they are.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's when you really understand the economic system, even the Carnegies and the Rockefellers and all of those guys who got together in Jekyll Island and decided they would start the Federal Exchange. Federal Exchange is just a handful of rich white guys. And most people think it's really a federal agency. It's not. Right. It's just a bunch of rich white folks that want to keep their constituents rich and basically white.
Yeah. And keeping other folks locked out. And you know, one of the things that I really love about this whole technology with the cryptocurrency is that we are getting involved in it faster. And someone asked me why. I was like, well, you know, we're tired of sitting in the back of the bus, right? We're trying to be, the last in and first out, right? So we want to be a part of this. And now you have like Walmart is issuing. They made a application to the trademark associate office, you know, where they're starting an EFT, where you could have virtual Walmart, right? And they have their own cryptocurrency. So this is the wave of the future. And I think a lot of times traditional banking, traditional Wall Street have really rather the system stay like it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can keep us out. But I love it. And Pastor K put in the trust and transparency.
Yes.
And that's what I'm hearing about the blockchain is that you know who you're dealing with. You know, if you make a transaction in the blockchain Am I correct that there's no, like, you don't have to verify that the money's there? I mean, it's done.
Yes. And what's really amazing about this is that because, for example, with smart contracts, there are, hold on one second. Sorry, I'm with my grandchildren.
That's all right.
Rambunctious.
It's generational wealth.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all right for the grandkids to be there, right?
Yes, yes. But yeah, the blockchain, when you create a smart contract, each transaction is validated and verified with thousands of computers. So it's immutable. So once it's executed, there is no need for a middleman. There's no need for a banker. There's no need, even in real estate, there will be no need for somebody to do a search for title, because all of that will be part of the exchange. So a lot of entities that have their fingers in the pie when it comes to negotiating different deals are going to be a thing of the past. Smart contracts are even going to be, if you are a renter, smart contracts are going to be such that if they do not receive your digital assets by the 5th of the month, the lock that you use to get to your door can be automatically changed. So this is going to be significant. It's going to be no more, my dog ate my rent money. You know, it's going to create an environment of trust and transparency. And what I really would like to see happen is to see that our political system adapts this, so that there's no more of this, the election was stolen from us. Okay. And that technology is absolutely here today. There is no reason why we can't, each one of us, go online and cast our vote and have it.
And it's unique.
Yes.
And there's no double count. No one has to count it or anything. Right. You know, I can see maybe my grandson telling his professor, well, my paper got lost on the blockchain. I mean, it must have been a break in the blockchain. It was like, no. Very, very interesting. And again, just being on the front end of this, right? Just being, because you know, we don't want to look up and say, wow, this whole blockchain, this whole crypto space we missed it. Right. So it's about taking action. We had a young man on this show, Sean Caldwell, a couple weeks ago, and one of the things he talked about is that he watched our YouTube show and then he took action.
Yep.
And actually, I'm going to replay that on the iHeartRadio show this Friday, part of the interview when he was here. But I'm just wanting everyone to just think about taking action and getting involved. And I kind of have sat back on the sideline too long myself. I mean, to be honest. And, you know, I got involved in one of the platforms just based on my relationship with Dr. Frazier. I was like, man, you know, if my relationship with him ain't worth $500, then what am I doing, right? And so just doing that and understanding, getting involved. And what I would encourage people from this standpoint is you don't have to know it all to get started.
Right.
But what is the cliche?
You earn while you learn.
While you learn.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great.
Right.
Amen.
And so that's kind of how I see it. I can tell you right now, my wife, she told me today, well, whatever the Rainmaker is doing, that's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm not gonna try to invent the wheel. I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel. Whatever. Tony, she like, listen, find out what she did so
Right.
you can do that.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that there is no point in reinventing the wheel. When the system is solid, you just follow the system. Somebody told me today, well, I really think that these videos are too long. They need to be 15 minutes at the max. These videos are just wait. I said, I'll tell you what. People usually spend longer than an hour commuting to a job that's paying them $15 an hour, and then another hour driving back. If they do not have 1 hour to find out about an opportunity that can literally change the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives, then they really don't want to improve the quality of their lives. Right. It's just an excuse.
Well, and one of the questions I have for people, you're not doing this, and how is that working out?
Yeah. Right.
How is that working out for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm saying that everybody's hurting, but we can, if you sit down and you looked at your budget, and let's talk a little bit about membership, right? Because Hyperverse is one of the platforms that we're recommending for people that we're involved in, I'm involved in, and we're telling everyone tonight, if you want to get involved in that platform, which is taking advantage of the blockchain, cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency is more than Bitcoin. Let's be, if you want to get involved with that, then we're just suggesting that you go to iPadappointment.com. Let's sit down and have a conversation. We can get you involved, get you a membership, walk you through that process as we're learning. And again, I want to reemphasize that we're in this together. Yeah. We're in this together. So just make sure you put in remarks that we want to talk about crypto or blockchain. Let me know what the appointment's about. But let's get involved. But my point was, how many of us, Michelle, if we sat down and pulled out our bank statement, pulled out our credit card statement, could find $300 that we wasted?
Oh, absolutely. Easily. Just kind of, threw away.
So why wouldn't you do something like this? I mean, that's kind of my point is what is there to lose? And even the platform that I got involved with my minimal investment, I mean, it's doing all right. I mean, you double your money in a year. I mean, that's not bad, right? And this is that on steroids.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I literally signed up my 3 grandkids for this platform. I think I put them involved with the smallest package, which is the 300 membership package. And I think the end of July. And for Christmas, they didn't get nothing box under the tree. What they got was a turn in front of the computer so that they could do a rebuy. And that 300 now is valued at over $1,500 for each one of them. Wow. And that's just in a couple of short months without anything being added to it, just with grandmother doing the rebuy. I've been here in California since the week before Christmas now, and they have actually done 3 rebuys. And a rebuy is when you buy a mini package valued at $50, and they triple that as well. So like I said, this is an opportunity to make stupid money.
You would be stupid
not
to make
and you don't break any fingernails. You do not have to do anything. You can do this literally while you're in my moo-moo. Most of the time, that's what I have on. I'm sitting at home in my kimono.
Talk to us about that. I mean, because I think that's one of the questions that people have. Well, how much time, how much is it going to take for someone to come in? And obviously you're making, you said over $1,300 per day.
Yeah.
And then I think there's two questions. If y'all have questions, put them in the chat box.
Yes.
But one of the questions people have, well, how much of that is actually money that you could use for living or whatever you want to use it for? And then talk to us a little bit about, you mentioned rebuy and the different packages, membership packages. Tell us a little bit about.
Sure. With this platform, there are several different ways you can participate. You can participate in it a passive way, which means you just buy a membership package, you set it and forget it, and in 20 months, they will have tripled the value of whatever package you purchase. If you just sit there and let it and vegetate and come back in 20 months, which is 600 days. But the other way that you can make this grow is by sharing it with others. When you share with others, I love this because it's not a rob Peter to pay Paul type of a platform. In other words, you get 20% of the person that you shared it with, their daily rewards, but you're not taking any of their rewards to do it. The company is just expediting your payout. So that's what is really significant about this, because everybody gets what they deserve. And if the more people that you share it with, it just makes your money come faster and faster and faster. And between January 1st and April the 1st, I went from my 800 HU purchase of my membership packages to hyperdriving every day, meaning I was earning $50 a day. And I did that every day for a month. And then I said, I've got to prove to my small but growing team that this isn't just money that is on the screen. You can actually spend it. So I went through the process. I stopped hyperdriving or rebuying, and I let the money stack up in my back office. I came to California May 12th, and my daughter and I went through the process of our first withdrawal. We withdrew the funds. I put it in my BitPay wallet, which is a cryptocurrency debit card, and went straight to Bank of America and withdrew 3 $100 bills. Proof of concept secured. This is real money. Hey, y'all, get busy. And today, as I stated before, you asked, is this real money? What can you do with it? Well, my BitPay card has seen me in Tahiti. That card was working when American Express wasn't working, and when Visa bank card wasn't working. That BitPay card with my crypto converted to USD was on point every step of the way. I shop, I go to restaurants, I pay bills. I do everything that I would do with any other MasterCard with that money. And as of last week, I'm now withdrawing. Last week, I think it was $5,200 for last week. And every week I'm withdrawing a little bit more and a little bit more. I can do that because every day I get a little bit more and a little bit more.
Because it's growing.
It's growing.
Your rewards is growing.
Yes.
So we have a couple Jacksons here that's asking a couple questions.
Right. These Jackson children.
The Jackson children. Listen, I ain't never said nothing in the chat. I've been doing this for 18 months. I ain't never said a word in the chat. And tonight they want to come on in and talk. Daddy. Okay, now DJ says, what's the time commitment? Full-time student, employee, father, all that type of thing. What's the time commitment from an investment standpoint? How much time do you need to put? And then Adrian asks, what's a rebuy?
Okay, the time commitment is whatever you can spare. What you want to do is, I'm what they call in ranking a VIP 3. That means that I am almost at the tippy top of the economic scale when it comes to the Hyperfund platform. Very top is VIP 5. But the time commitment is whatever you allocate. I would recommend getting on the corporate calls, and the calls are long. They're hour long, usually most days. And there are like six or seven different speakers that the company has knighted as their official spokespersons to talk about the Hyperverse platform. Commit yourself to getting on 2, 3, 5 calls a week. Listen to different people do the spiel. The PowerPoint is the same for each one of them. They all have their own little different twist. Listen to it. Become very knowledgeable about the platform. Take part in the trainings. The technical trainings are awesome. Some of the same people are the technical trainers. And spend the time to educate yourself as you would if you were studying to be an executive for a major platform. You have to learn your trade. So I would recommend spending at least an hour a week if you're a student, instead of playing whatever those video games are that you guys play. Spend an hour listening to the people that are making staggering amounts of money. I mean, what I'm doing, I call myself Shirley Temple with ashy knees. These people that are the corporate trainers, they are really yanking down the money. Okay. So get involved and educate yourself by listening to the pros. And I have learned more by sticking on the call after the presentation when they have questions and answers. And there are people from all over the world that are doing this. So you'll get questions from people that you'll never see ever. But these questions are dynamite. And the answers that these professionals give, that's not the scripted part. That's the unscripted part. That's where the money is.
It's not the board meeting. It's the meeting after the board meeting.
Yeah.
It's the meeting after the board meeting.
Yeah.
And as you were saying that, I'm thinking about while you're working out, you could be listening. While you're commuting, get off the phone. You can listen to some of these things. And they said, if you spend your time doing that, you'll become an expert. Just by making, back in the day we used to say when we were doing sales and driving from house to house, it's like make your car a classroom. And it's the same thing, like make it a classroom, listen to it, and then a rebuy is basically you're taking your rewards and you're buying portions
another miniature package, a 50 HU package, and that also triples. So every time you put anything into the Hyperverse platform, it triples. So, and that is what multiplies your rewards so fast, because when it's a package stacked on top of another package on top of another package, that 0.5% a day gets bigger and bigger. And as it gets bigger, the faster the rebuys come. That's how I went from January 1 to April 1, where, I didn't have that much money in it, only $800. But because of how fast I was doing the rebuys, but part of that was because one of my team members brought in a woman who put a $50,000 from her 401k in.
Wow.
She said, I'm in it to win it. That 50,000 tripled. And because she was my second level, I got 15% every day. Every day out of her rewards, I got 15% of that. Wow. So,
and we're hearing that, and we have people to come in that talks about doing self-directed IRAs and those type of things where you can take advantage of some of these things. And we did have a self-directed expert on our show.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very good. And I
Very
think someone mentioned, Michelle, it might have been even you or someone had mentioned about now that we go through this, it'd be a good idea to have her come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did tell you that.
Yeah, I think you did. I think it was you.
Yeah, that's exactly what this woman did. She set up a self-directed IRA and dumped the $50K into that. And the last time I looked at her platform about 3 months ago now, she asked me for some assistance with something, and she and I did a private Zoom. That 50,000 was worth 264,000 in like 7 months.
Wow.
So, Alice Martin, on that note, you mentioned using your card and pulling out, $5,000, $5,200 a week. Alice Martin asked about the taxes, and obviously, Steve Hutchinson, which well, will be here next week. We're going to talk about taxes, but just real quickly, taxes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pay them. No doubt about it. But guess what? When you're making $1,300 a day, you just pay it.
Just pay it.
Just
pay the taxes. Pay the taxes.
You just pay it. But you know what? What the big boys are doing, the VIP 5s, most of them are taking a trip over to Dubai and setting up dual citizenship because Dubai is cryptocurrency heaven. So actually, that's where the owners of Hyperverse have now established their new world global headquarters. It's in Dubai. So everybody that I know that's achieved VIP 5, all of a sudden are taking a trip to Dubai.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
I could take my wife to Dubai. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
You might put something in the chat.
You gonna bring your friends?
I'll bite the bullet. I was doing a presentation for this woman. One of my downlines said, Janice, there's one of my new people. She's got a group of investors, and she wants you to do a little presentation. So I did, and of course the tax question came up. And I said, listen, I'm 67 years old. I paid my taxes every year. I said, but I still haven't gotten my 40 acres and a mule. So next year I will be in Dubai doing a different thing.
Absolutely.
But then I found out at the end of this little presentation, I was talking to some 10th graders. I had no idea. But guess what? 4 of those students went and got $1,000 and bought a $1,000 package.
Wow.
So the packages are 300, 500, and 1,000, or any denomination of that.
Yes. Yes. And any multiples therein. And it was so funny. This same teacher, during the Christmas holiday, one of the students said, hey, I got some Christmas money. I want you to stop by and pick it up and add it to my membership. She went by this kid's house, talked to the father. She called me up. She says, Janice, I need for you to talk to my student's father. I talked to him for 5 minutes. When she left his house, she called me up. I left there with $27,000.
Wow.
So, it doesn't take a lot for those people that are very savvy and know about money and how money works. It's the poor people, it's the broke-minded people that you have to drag them into something like this. But the people who are knowledgeable about how money works, they move faster.
Yeah.
They see it, they take advantage.
And so part of our whole strategy here with this is for people to learn. You got Pastor K last week. We got Janice, the Rainmaker, this week. We got Steve Hutchinson next week. And so we're trying to give you enough information to give you the confidence that if you want to get into this, let's go.
Yeah.
And let's go together, and let's go to Dubai or wherever we gonna go. My wife's gotta be making up words. I'm gonna make up a word, a whole island or something. I don't know. But let's get in and let's be on the front end of this. And again, we're not telling you to take your life savings. We're not even suggesting that. But what we're saying is, if you can figure out a way to do it, I've seen it work for Janice. I've seen it work for Dr. Frazier. I've seen it work for Pastor K. So I'm seeing people that I have a relationship with and that I respect. I mean, I have so much respect for Dr. Frazier, he claims he has some for me too. So, but anyway, we have a lot of respect for each other, and then to meet you, Janice, and Rachel, and some of the other folks, and join us sometime on Thursday night, folks, at 7 p.m. The Generational Wealth Alliance. What's the website?
It's generationalwealthalliance.net. Just all out.
Generational Wealth Alliance.net. If you go there at 7 p.m. on Thursday, you will see the button where you can just enter the Zoom meeting right there. And I love what Pastor K, and I think it's a great place for us to go into our last final words that we want to tell everyone. Pastor K said this. He said, faith over fear and doubt.
Yeah.
Faith over fear. Faith over fear. And so, man, it's been really good, educational. It's been inspirational. And I know some people will probably say, well, it seems like a big sales pitch. Well, we're not telling you, we're not forcing anyone. We just want to educate you to some opportunities that's out there. It's up to you if you want to take advantage of that opportunity or not. And I've always told people, don't invest any more than you can afford to lose. But if you look at the results that some people are having, I can't stay on the sidelines any longer. And so, and that's why we want to share it with you, because we want a rising tide raises all ships. And so we're going to give any final words, Janice, that you would like to share with our audience. Michelle, anything you'd like to share before we sign off?
I would just like to say that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Yes.
And if you want to make the world a better place, make that change. Make that change. Start with yourself.
Awesome. Michelle.
I always say, take action. Like, you got the information. Now, what are you going to do with it? So you show up every week for a reason. It's got to be something good, right? So
take action.
Take action.
Listen, at the end of every chapter in the book, there's a section called Take Action Now.
Yeah.
Right. So listen, you guys make sure that you sign up for the book launch on 2/22. It has been my pleasure.
Look what Alice Martin said. My light bulb is lit.
We had a great conversation today. And so listen, take action today. I'm excited about seeing and getting your testimonies down the road. And, I just believe, actually this platform that we're doing, the iHeartRadio show, all that stuff, it's kind of like church, right? It's none of that stuff comes free. It costs. But I believe that we're planting seeds for the current generation and the next generation that will come back as a harvest. And so thank you for being part of it. Thank you for showing up here every week. Thank you for listening to iHeartRadio Fridays at 5 p.m. I thank you in advance for showing up to the book launch. And you can register at iPadyourmoney.com, and you can also buy the book there. I don't know. The next book might have to do something with crypto. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe we can make it a collaborative effort, like chicken soup for the soul, crypto for the soul. So anyway, have a good night. Stay safe. Keep your distance. Wear your mask and stay off the icy roads. I'm Tony Jackson, the Real Money Coach. We'll see you next week.